Today's episode is brought to you by the letter T. E and A for tea. We're going to make up a brand new pot of tea. A brand new medical tea. And if your hearing is correct, you'll hear that water boiling. Let's buckle down and make us some tea. Now, I made this tea during today's episode, so if you want to know all about it, please stick on. But let's pour some hot water here and watch the tea brew. And while the tea brews, we'll talk about the art of tea. So, let's us adventure. This is the cup that started it all. I was at a bookstore. This particular cup has a strainer for individual cups of loose leaf tea, which is something I wanted to get into. I went with this. This cup comes from this company. And this is a very good tea. I always try to pick this tea up whenever it's available on the website. And so you pour your tea in here and you steep it. Has a nice cover. After you take your little basket out, you still use the cover to steep the tea or keep the tea nice and hot. And this was the start, and then I ventured forth. I found a guy online. He made magic teas, like spiritual teas, with a lot of meditative ingredients, such as the purple lotus, or blue lotus. Looks purple to me. It's blue lotus. And that set forth me on the adventure of brewing my own teas. I have a detox, a relaxation, St. John's wort tea, cleanse your mind and soul tea. And now today, we made the tea, which is going to unite the systematic nature, rebooting, if you will, the system of your fascia, your body, your central nervous system, repairing, relaxing, repairing, and generally making your life all that much better. And while the tea steeps for approximately 15 minutes, we'll explore a little more. As you can see, the color purple is already coming out. No grape juice in there, nothing, but just tea. 2 flowers, a hibiscus red and a blue butterfly, flower. Make for a deeper purple. When that finishes brewing in about 15 minutes, we put the stopper down. And then I typically fill this beauty up. Removing this. And then I let the tea be nice and cleansed. In the pot, for the fuller tea experience, I typically go with this here cup. Keeps the tea hot, has a little cover. It's quite the dramatic tea experience with the whole glass. So let's talk a little bit more about tea. As you can see, I got this tea, and I saved these containers to put other tea ingredients in, as I need containers for the tea. My wife, she loves a little rose water in her tea. I'll like my honey a little bit. Sometimes, and I'm just getting into it now, cinnamon, or even, cardamom. Several Indian spices throw their own dynamic to the whole entire tea process. And it's all as easy as a few loose leaf ingredients and, a little time, a little research. This tea can bring your life to whole new levels. So let us venture forth and take a deeper look at tea, because I assure you it will be terrific. Valentine's Day just passed. The love of my life, my wife, through my life, she got me a really good gift. I got it right here. It's not the book. This book, it's a little journal. You write songs. It's got places for, you know, lyrics and, you know, all that. I got it right here. This is, yeah, it doesn't look big, but it's probably the best gift I ever got. Anyway, this journal is a great journal, and it's very useful. So, I mean, if you're ever into writing a song or two, you might check it out. You can just keep it around. Write down a little, you know, chorus or a lyric. I got this song here, working on currently. And I'm also revising it already. Yeah, you know, I struggled a long time for trying to get music going. You know, I looked for help, didn't find any. And so I started checking out, and someone said in one of the videos I watched, you look at the essence of some particular song, and you pick something out of it. Because, you know, I have this here, and I want to say this, but it feels like something. And so that's how I got the musical expression for this. It's it's the song that ruined the Dixie Chicks' career. I'm Not Ready to Make Nice, but it really, you know, can be utilized for this here song. And this here song is part of an album I'm drawing up. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So let's get to this really, really, really cool gift. Let's check it out. It is so freaking unique. I don't even know what to do with it sometimes. Sometimes I want to put it in a frame, and sometimes I want to use it to its best of its abilities. So the best gift I ever got was this here. This here. A guitar pick? The best gift you ever got was a guitar pick? A white guitar pick? Yeah, but this guitar pick is signed. Not really signed, it's printed in. This guy, you know, I used to like him a lot. He was a rising star once. 83, 84. He was working his butt off. And, you know, to make a little extra dig, he sold guitar picks at his concerts. He had a little message on them. For everybody. For everybody. Even you. Love God. You know, he became real famous with a bunch of people that love themselves more than they love anything else. I mean, literally, they sing songs like, "How will I know if he really loves me?" Which is not the essence of selflessness. It's basis in egotism. But they think they own the world. They think they're children ruling the schoolyard. It's really pathetic. But this guy, he left me a message. He left you a message. He left everyone a message on one of his guitar picks. And so you can see, I'm not sure if I should frame this guitar pick or use this guitar pick. I've been using it a little bit. And, you know, my wife, she got it at a pretty good price. But these can go for hundreds to $1,000. So now you can see why I'm not sure about using this here guitar pick. One wrong struck note, and that's that, I think. It'd be heartbreaking. I love this pick. I feel it's more powerful than the pick of destiny. But it's inspired me to write a whole album. A series of albums, really. No one will ever hear them, I'm sure. But it's just me working the process up to the music. It's called the Joshua album, Joshua's Path, or something anyway. It's basically in the book of Revelations. If you don't know, Joshua was the human form of the man Jesus. It's in your answer book. But he goes through several adventures where he runs into a group of people that manipulate the system to do what they want, which is lusts, better housing, more food, and more money, and more sex, but they forgot the message, love God. And so that's the beast, and they ride the beast. And on the beast there is a scarlet woman. Yeah, she's kind of a cheap floozy. She's willing to do what it takes to get business done and make the fame table. So that's what the first couple of songs are about, other than some notes that I've scribbled down. So I'm real excited about it. I mean, it's never out going to be heard. I might not even ever play it, but it will be written. Just like this guitar pick. It has now been 15 minutes. Let us take a look at what we have. The juice is awful pretty. A little brownish, a little purplish. We get the plunger. Sticking the plunger in, we plunge it down. Get a little squeeze down the bottom, Make sure we get all that good stuff. Then, I'll typically get this here. And I'll pour it in. This allows for proper cooling, and it is so very pretty. It brings the whole, tea experience to brand new levels. Relaxation tea should absolutely have relaxation vibes going on. And then I will either let that steep or sit and cool for a little while, I might even let it cool and have a nice cold tea. But I'm going to get right into this tea here. So I'm going to use this cup. The whole glass dynamic, I love using this. Very relaxing. Sometimes, if I make this tea, I'll use one of these cups. Just for the use of the cup. I have this one here that I use for the dark moon vibe of it. So let us get down to the pour. And there we have it. A fresh hot cup of tea. It's going to change everything in your life. I guarantee it. Let's have us a sip, shall we? It smells flowery and earthy. It is mostly good, a little bitter, which is just a sign of, ingredients really being utilized. It is a little earthy tasting, leafy, dirty maybe just a little bit of a honey to it. Sweeten it up. It is good to have some honey. I don't have a honey pot going on. So, we will let that honey melt in, and I am going to enjoy my tea. Until next time, keep terrific. I have a story for you. This story is true. I'm going to tell it to you as a story anyway. There's a tree-like system of people, groups of people. They think they're supposed to rule the world, you know? Everybody wants to rule the world, you know that song. Well, I know exactly what I'm talking about because my family, I was born into a family associated with this system. And I'm not going to give no names, I'm not going to give no details, I'm just going to say, you know, my family, bloodlines, had been in this system as far back as I can track. And so, you know, yeah. But at 3 1/2, I was kicked out. We were kicked out. We were all kicked out. I might consider myself lucky. But, yeah. As you can imagine, I didn't have such a good life. And then by 8, I had developed CPTSD, which locked me away in a cage in my own body. My body has a fascia. We all have this fascia mesh bodysuit under our skin. And in times of real trouble, it will lock up on you. Just lock up on you and cause great pains. And that happened to me. Anyway, so I tried, you know, I tried to help. I've always tried to be helpful. And, you know, I even made some kind of friends, but contacts or whatever. Just individuals. And, yeah, unfortunately, that whole system is built upon desires of the human body. It's part of the psychological condition of the flesh. It's really a survival mechanism to take control so much food, sex, and shelter. It's just a biological functioning, but sometimes, all the time, I guess, in humanity, people neglect. They neglect the fact that there is something more. They don't even know it. They build entire religions out of it, but they forgot all about it. They don't even care anymore to try to find out the truth of these things. They rather just take and steal and stab and kill and believe they're going to be forgiven for all of it just because, you know, they contribute 10% of all their lives to the church. Whatever. At any rate, I tried to make life a little better for everybody, but yeah, I only ended up hurt more. And so now I'm going into something new. I mean, it's about time, really. Over 50 years now, I've been trying to help others. You know, I wasn't doing it for nothing. I kind of imagined one hand would wash the other. Isn't that the way it goes? But I was the hand that's always left dirty, getting dirtier and dirtier. Well, they look as spicky-spanny, so yeah. So now, I guess, everything I've learned about helping everyone in every way I can has to be turned inward towards me, the man. Because, you know, just recently I've started unlocking this fascia cage. I overcame the CPTSD. I got my blood pressure under control. And then so much more. You know, if you might notice, I have a little extra weight. Technically morbid obese, maybe. An entire body on my body, at least a child-sized body I carry around with me. Used to be protection, also deflection for, like, not being found sexy. I didn't want to be found attractive. At any rate, I carry all this weight now. And you know what? I am not unhealthy like the majority of the population. I have for a long time, over a decade, in natural foods, whole foods, pure foods, and only getting better. Now I'm DASH, the DASH diet, technically, natural foods, no salts, no additives, no nothing. A lot of time in the kitchen, but well worth it. Anyway, so I'm on that, and I'm still gathering the fat because of several conditions. Not glandular, just protective, and also toxins and such other things that I am just now starting this 4-month process of what I'm calling spring training, so that I can worry about me for once. Because, I guess in this world, that's what you gotta do, because you're the only one that's gonna do it for you, so that's what I'm up to. So that's what this vlog is about. And I'm gonna show some interesting stuff personally. I'm going to do my best to get completely healthy in as little time as possible. Really, my diet is under 2,000 calories. I'm lucky to have a piece of chocolate every once in a while, a glass of wine, maybe once a month, and I don't do sugar. I don't do salt. I hardly do meat. And I have a little problem with the bread. I like the bread. Don't they? We all like the bread. Anyway, I love the bread, but yet, no. I am going to even cut back on the bread. And I am going to do my exercising, which is mostly a fascia flow based, energy, manipulative, natured, Tai Chi, Kundalini, and other yoga, such dynamics like that, to really liberate my fascia, my expression. If you don't know what fascia is, you should, because it's a whole other dynamic of the human being. It is, in fact, there's an energy system that is formed when you squeeze a crystal, piezoelectrical, and this energy system can be utilized within the fascia. If you think about it, you literally, within your body, have a crystal structure that can be utilized for the fascia expression. I find this very interesting. And so that is one thing I'm really going for. If you don't know Bruce Lee and movies like The Last Dragon, they always talked about the glow and the nature of the human structure when you can utilize the energy flow systems to imbibe the spirit quiescence within the structure that makes magic happen. And that has a lot to do with soul juice energies, loosh if you call them that, or anything you want to call your emotional expressions, your recordings of you, of what you have done worthy of being. And for many, that's an empty bank, but for me, I've been working on it, for lifetimes. And so now it's time to utilize some of that juice. I want to get the body, which is the flesh manifestation on the material plane, well connected. I'm connected, but well connected in a complete flowing system with the soul energy and the spirit energy through the mind phase of the third eye, the pineal gland. It is fantastic stuff. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, it's no wonder with what the garbage they put on the television these days. But in the electrical field, some call it the quantum reality. There is an energy field that everything is put upon. Everything, this pic, you, this camera, everything built from dynamics of energy that ride upon this quantum field. However, there are 3 layers to the quantum field. There is the physical, the body, the flesh, physical manifestation. There is the soul essence, energy system, and then there's the spiritual. And I see them as pages, but a lot of people, they don't get past page 1. They close the book. Anyway, but the point of life is to pierce the physical through to the soul, to the spiritual. And this is how you actually graduate this planetary realm. But anyway, I did that already. But yet, I did that already. The hemisync process, the gateway experience. Check it out if you're interested. But yeah, the idea is to literally now bring all that full circle into the body system, and it can be done, and it will be done. Maybe not in 4 months' time, but it is the starting. It's spring training. I am going to get all uppity on the exercise like this one, you know, that I'll show you in a minute, and flow. Get my body utilizing it, the energy system of the fascia and central nervous system, and the whole entire the whole body, blood, everything. And then I am going to utilize the emotional content to a projection of consciousness that then will reach to the heights of the spiritual realm and unite the entire package in the hemisync process. This is called the total self, which is usually an external, but yet I believe it can be brought down here. And then we'll see what happens. So this is my goal, and also over the next 4 months, I'm going to start the physical processing. I'm also utilizing my time and efforts to write in journals, not on the internet, and write lyrics, and then use music. I've been studying music a long time, and I've got some clues in the nature, the musical exchanges. There's expressions of emotion, of contentment, and excitement, and spiritual quiescence that just isn't being put out by these pop princesses. It's a shame, but now you can see what I'm talking about. I think this is going to be great. And so I'm going to do the physicality, spiritual, and soulful meditation in some combination of, you know, energy flow and also somatic trainings. Somatic, if you don't know, you should know. Somatic movements to fulfill a whole package just for myself. I don't care about putting it out there on the shelf. It's for me. And so that is what this video series is going to be all about. Yeah. So I'm going to do, you know, the body and the mind and the spirit. I'm going to utilize musical expression for the soul. And I'm going to learn to play, well, my guitar, my music, my instrument, which is the body. When you look into it, really the body, like singing, there are so many people that try to, they can't even sing for one thing, but yet utilizing the full body dynamics with rooting into the earth, using the body system and the soul, heart chakra with the mind, spirit, ascension. It'll be something magic for listening to anyway. That's one of my goals. And there's a few other goals. You know, there's my whole tea aspect. I am really doing the magic tea, if you will. I've been discovering the alchemical nature, the apothecary tea manufacturing, just for me. But I'm amazed. I am absolutely amazed with what tea can do for a healthy body. And so I'll introduce you to a video I'm making on tea making. I've made 3, and I'm doing my 4th tea today. The first tea was cleansing. So you use cleansing ingredients that cleanse well. And there's a certain dynamic to every element, every thing you put in it. Then I had I had this one tea called Thinking of You Turn Around, which is it's a mind-focused tea. It has a lot of ginkgo biloba, and then it has a lot of heart and blood circulation that idealistically would draw out emotional content, processing it through the mind. You see where I'm going with this? These teas, they are factually, I like to use the term magic, maybe not magic, maybe just alchemical understanding, biological naturing. And yeah. And so today's tea that I'm going to make, still not really a name. It has to do with the fascia. Here we go, the fascia again. But technically, tea ingredients can relax the central nervous system and thus feed and fluidize and flow with the fascia movement to be utilized in expressions of the fascic healing, which I think everyone could use a little of that, as far as I can tell. You can tell, I've noticed many people, they're stiff. I used to be very stiff. I was very stiff because my fascia was literally froze up. If you think of it, it's a mesh. It's a mesh bodysuit under your skin. And when faced with danger or stress, which, who doesn't have this stress? I got tea for that too. But who doesn't have this stress? The fascia will bind tightly, dehydrating itself and becoming a shell, a lockdown cage of your body. And then you won't get fluid motion, which I know all about. I've had that long enough. So, yeah, this ought to be a really good video series. I'm hoping a lot going to be good. There'll be long episodes where I put 2 or 3 elements in a video once a week maybe. And so, I hope you enjoy. Back here is my tea selection. I've made 3 teas so far, and I have a very other of loose leaf tea blends, all individual, doing magical things. So much so have I liked the tea. It's even moved up here to the top shelf. And so I've been exploring tea greatly. The ingredients, each one individual, do very useful stuff. And then you combine these ingredients into a tea recipe, which I have here in this journal. I have my 3 that I've made so far, and I have 1 more that I'm going to make today with you here. But let's talk about the tea. There are a varied number of tea ingredients. My latest craze is the blue or purple lotus. Mild, very mild, so not at all psychoactive elements. Incredible for meditation, dream enhancement, many other things. And so this is, one of my newest tea ingredients. I have roughs, or I also, they come in little flowers that you pop into your tea, and you let it soak in, and that's where the magic starts happening. And there are some people that will utilize half of this jug to make a tea blend that might slip your mind just a little, but I use responsibly. Please drink tea responsibly. So you will need, or I'm going to need, one of these here containers. And this is, I picked these up at, your local store, my TJ Maxx, my Burlingtons, $7. Plastic, very good. Not, going to interact with the dry ingredients. Wood cover to keep it fresh. And so we will talk about the tea. But first, a warning from my, other side, maybe my lawyer. According to the cool kids, I'm a blathering idiot. So if you take tea advice from me, well, you're worse than a blathering idiot. Please, do your own research. Connect to your own authorities. Maybe go see a doctor. Do not use this tea unless you're just a blathering idiot. I hope that had been useful. And so let us experience the tea experience. I'm slowly listing all the ingredients I have, and yet also leaving room for more. I am moving on to making the teas. In here, I have the list of the 4 teas I've been doing. The detox tea, very important. Clean your blood, your lymphatic systems. I have a St. John's wort tea. It's going to make you chill out. Relax, feel good. But not drugged, just good. Mild. And then I got a Thinking About You Turn tea, which frees soul juices through the circulatory system into the brain, having a brain dynamic that will process whatever you're trying to process. And so now I have Recenter Systematic tea, which revitalizes fascia, white CNS support, relaxation, and revitalization. And here's my basic tea, detox, very simple. Then I went on to a more advanced St. John's tea. Then I went with the U-turn tea. So let's turn the page and see what that tea says. There's that. And so here, as you can see, is the next tea in the process. Really a little blendy. We'll just call it a little blendy. Has a whole list of ingredients. Time to go shopping. Down here, below this counter, all the way over to the side, and to right about here. There's a deep shelving unit. One shelf, and the other shelf is for something else, but one shelf below here. Have a look. And so, let us do some reaching. We have all kinds of tea ingredients. I mean all kinds of tea ingredients. I do mean all kinds of tea ingredients. There's an apothecary down here. Oh, don't even think I've gotten started yet. Let's go. I get the pound size. Great value. Then we have boxes. Well, I don't mean a box. I mean a couple worth of boxes. And these are teas I bought from a guy on the internet. Really kind of got me started in the loose leaf teas. These are my backup teas. Backup ingredients. And I pick them up every chance I get. Like here at TJ Maxx, $7, $6, goji berries. Fantastic for, you know, a lot of things. Every ingredient, you know, its own dynamic. And it's such a magical experience. So now we have to whittle down these teas to get the ingredients just right. So I'm going to be right back after this not commercial message. This is my turntable. Basic setup, audio technician, best system I've ever had. And I changed out the head for the top quality head. I really did study with the whole vinyl dynamic 2 stereo system, the whole kit and caboodle. I got the brush, I got the weight, I got the measurements, and I love playing me a record every now and again. And this is maybe the best record ever. No, it's not Prince. It's definitely not a pop princess. Or maybe it was. One hit wonder. Best song ever. I just bought this album. This album is from 1981 or 2. And it is got the best song ever. Tony Basil. The song Mickey, of course. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine, you blow my mind. Hey, Mickey. Of course, you know, I have to pay homage to that. But of course, I am totally not going to play the record because I don't want the copyright strike. Believe it or not, I'm still here. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Then we're going to mix it up. So, yeah. Let's get right to it. We get our nice, clean, empty container. Now, I'm doing this in parts. Mostly 1 part per. Some ingredients, 2 parts for a little more oomph. And so, you know, let's get her started, don't we? What do we got? First up, oat straw. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, I know by research what all these ingredients do, but, you know, you should check into them for yourself. Yet, I'll try to include sometime a full listing of why each ingredient is there. And then we have some oat straw. And oat straw, it's kind of, it doesn't taste that great, yet it really is good for you. I mean, for the dynamic that I'm making it, so we go with a 2. 2, this is 1/3 of a cup. So I go 1, and I go 2. There we go. Seal that back up. Moving on to the next one. Let's not let that fall on the floor. Then we got skullcap. I love the name of skullcap. It makes things so simple. Skull cap. This is great tea for the brain. It does some incredible things for your brain. We go with 2 of those. So we got one. This one smells grassy. It really is really good. I think this tea, I've been testing out ingredients to see how they work together. I mean, work and taste. And I think I'd like to put a little orange, something a little citrusy, and maybe a little lemon juice per cup. Yeah. So next up we have linden flowers, or linden leaf, and linden flowers. This is linden leaf and linden flowers. And as you can see, I haven't even gotten into this one yet. So let's crack that one open, shall we? And there we go. Let's see, we're going two of that one. So, not with the bag. Get into the good stuff. Now I get a pound of these because one, you know, you get a quarter a pound, you'll go through it fast, and also they charge more for a quarter a pound than they charge you for a whole pound. Really, I mean, a whole pound typically costs less than 2/4 of a pound, which I discovered, you know, when I first made my order. I was like, oh, I just need a couple of those quarters, and they sent me, you know, they sent me a pound because I paid the price just by getting 2/4. So now we are going to yeah. Now I'm mixing these ingredients up in a dynamic, right? We have leaves and leaves, basically leaves, whereby we put the leaves in first. And so I am currently looking for red clover. Have you seen it? That's clover. That's Tulsa. Hawthorn. I typically try to reorder some when I get down. We have red clover hips, whole, organic. I go for the organic, unless there's a wild. I'll go for the wild when I can. Yet then I'll go for the organic. Couple dollars more, well worth it, if you ask me. And so we throw in one of those. These are typically messy. There's some flowers or flower-esque things and some twigs. I like it. Good stuff. And then we have ginkgo leaf and ginkgo kaloa. Now ginkgo kaloa and ginkgo leaf, they got ginky names, but they're real good for the brain too, and the communication with the brain and the central nervous system, and thus to the fascia. And so we get one of these. I like this one, the whole bunch. I have a whole separate container, kind of like this, that I will utilize to put just a little ginkgo gola in any particular tea. I feel I could use a little more brain boost at the time. So there's this one, and there. Now, we're getting down to business. Ginkgo leaf. Where was that ginkgo leaf? Here it is. I mean, take a look at that. You might think that's dirt. That's kind of leaves. They're breaking all up. Not so bad, kind of mild, yet also, So we have that. Also, brain juices. Now, let's see. Now we have another new one. one I've been saving. Don't even know how to pronounce it yet. It is Dararana. Sounds close enough. Maybe if I drink some of this, I'll be able to pronounce it a little bit. So, we got one of those. Another bag we don't want busting open, so yeah, now that looks kind of strawy. And, you know, looks like something you might sweep up around autumn in the back of your yard. It smells fruity though, and that smells really good. I'm excited to try some of that. Almost want to look through in there, but I won't. And so we have that. Then we have, next up, St. John's wort. Now, St. John's wort, it's pretty great. It is of a psychological nature. Technically, you know, I don't necessarily believe in bipolar or anything like that, chemically imbalanced. Yet, if you have that feeling, perhaps need a little more mental clarity along that lines, St. John's wort, that's your tea. You have to, there's a couple of ingredients you have to watch out for. So, make sure you check with the cool kids first. But St. John's wort is one of those ingredients. You should not utilize it with other medications. I tend to do whatever I want to do. Therefore, you should watch out for you. As you know, I'm a little crazy. And so now we're getting down to the nitty and the gritty. We are done St. John's wort. Now the Tulsa Rama. Also brain, good juice stuff, and central nervous system. I don't know. Funky looking. Funky looking. Smells something. It's from India, so it actually smells kind of like Indian food. I don't know. There's that one, right? And so we make sure these are sealed up really good. You don't want it to, you know, spill out or especially get moisture in it. There's that right there. And then we have Moroccan mint. I didn't have enough Moroccan mint. I'm going to have to put that one on order. This is very mild and good for relaxing and giving you a little bit of a, I don't know, look at this, look at the twig. You see the twig? Gotta get rid of that. I don't know. It's just very relaxing. It gives good flavor too. So we get a thing of Moroccan mint and we put that in there. There's that. And say we're making an anthill here. And there my American mint is. And American mint after green tea, but not particularly green tea. If you're not aware, if you like green tea, but you're not aware of what's in these your little tea bags, there are several plants that are green tea. That's just tea. That's green. This is, I believe, the Chinese version. There's the Chinese, there's Japanese. They're Chinese, what do they call this? Chen Men. This is not the right tea. So I will be right back. And here I am, the Chin Men. Don't want that mistake. Beautiful green tea, right? I should have shown you the other one, completely different plants. This one has a certain dynamic to it, and it's so tasty. Love this one. I will often utilize these green teas just for the green tea. Throw some gobi berries in it, maybe a lotus, some hibiscus, jasmine, especially jasmine, all kinds of ingredients. So, let's see. Then we are got the green tea. Now we move on. See, this is leaves, right? Leaves tea. And this is flowers, flowers, flowers. This is herbal tea, so you put in a little tea leaves, you put in a little flowers, rosebuds. They give you a whole pick-me-up. They give you a lot of vitamin C, I believe it is, and other relaxation factors, and they are so very pretty in your tea. I'm even going to throw just a little more buds in there. So let's see if we can find you a pretty little tea bud. Here is one. Isn't that special? Isn't that pretty? You won't have that in your cup of tea. Don't you want a little rose in your tea? Of course you do. Why wouldn't you? I know some people, they drink just rose tea. Now, the creme de la creme ingredient. This has very little nutritional value at all. Yet, it is called the blue butterfly. And don't we all just love butterflies, supposedly, if you hold one of these in the right manner, they will look like a butterfly. I don't know. But anyway, the power of this, they call it a magical power. It literally will make your tea blue. Blue. It will make your tea just a little bit blue. And who doesn't want blue tea? You know, you might like your blue suede shoes. I want my tea blue. But I don't want my tea blue because although blue is a very nice color, I like just a different shade. So pretty soon down the road, I'm going to be putting in some hibiscus. That is red, and everybody knows purple rain. You mix red and blue, you'll get purple, and that's the color of my tea. So here we are. We got some jasmine. Let's find the jasmine. Where did jasmine go? Hey, jasmine, 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 jasmine. I don't know where the jasmine has gone. I will be right back. I am back with the jasmine. I don't have enough jasmine. I don't have excess jasmine. I got plenty of jasmine for this ingredients, but I want to get more jasmine. I'm going to put that one on the list. Jasmine is such a beautiful tea, and it is a, great flavor. Great flavor, dynamic tea. Love me green tea and jasmine. And then we have nettle leaf. Nettle leaf, it's a leaf. Maybe I should have included that in the leaf section. But this is nettle leaf. This is really feeding the central nervous system and the fascia, literally nutrition, like nutrition for the fascia system. So there you have it. And then we have Rose hips. I knew a girl named Rose once. She had some pretty large hips, but these are, I don't know, part of the rose, and they're kind of like berry-like, right? But nutritious. So this is a nutrition element. So we add Rose's hips in here to the tea. Those are beautiful. Rose gonna give me some of those hips tonight. And then we have the good old hibiscus. If you don't know hibiscus, you gotta know hibiscus. Yeah, you gotta know hibiscus. When you're done with this video, look up hibiscus. Makes the tea red. Super wild, dynamic tea ingredient. Very balancing on the hydration of the body. Really balancing the hydration of the body. There you have your hibiscus. I'm getting pretty full there. Thankfully, I'm almost done. And I'm trying not to bleed here on these bags. As you can see, I was cutting my dinner last night, and I slipped with the knife. I was a little hungry, wanted to get over there, but I will sign this tea in blood. Okay, now, one of the last few ingredients. Let's see. One of the last few ingredients we have elderberries whole. Elderberries, don't you go making a pie out of these now. But elderberries are sweet sometimes and very nutritious. So, elderberries. And one more ingredient. We have hawthorn berries. Also organic. Yeah, you know, I'm showing you the packages. This is where I buy the ingredients. I will typically buy the ingredients direct from the packager, or if you're looking also for ingredients, like these lotus. I got these here on eBay, where you can buy just about everything. And so here we are. With the last ingredient, also nutrition. And there we have it. There we have it. And now I will recheck this here, because I have a tea here that I did not even open. I'm guessing, you know, that I just didn't put this one away. And now, check it once, check it twice, check it 3 times. This tea here is done. I can remove the geeky glasses, and I can put on the Prince song, Shake. Because you know what comes next? You gotta utilize that empty space to mix the ingredients, and this is going to take a little while. I will talk to you for a second, and then we will flash out to the finished product. This is some exercise too, didn't you know? You didn't know you'd be getting some exercise while making your tea. As you can see, it's starting to mix. This side not so much. And then you really just want to get the mix good. Spinning it around, shaky, shaky, shaky. Spinning around, shaky, shaky, shaky. Shake the top, shake the side, shake the bottom, shake the side, shake the side, shake the side. Okay, we're going to continue shaking this. I'll be back. Well, while you wait, I guess I will go clean up a little bit and, you know, talk to you. Very important topic of tea consumption. Now, consuming teas, especially of a certain super healthy and beneficial dynamic, requires a little insight. Now, for example, yesterday, here's mugwort. That's a magic tea. That always goes in my wine. I'm going to make a mugwort wine and lotus flower tea pretty soon. I'm very excited about that. But when you're doing your teas, you want to pace yourself. You don't want to drink the same tea every day. For example, yesterday, after having teas other than this one for days before, I had me a detox day. A detox tea day. I typically have a detox tea day once a week, because you are going to process more of the toxins in your system out, and you want to utilize as much bioelectrical energy towards a particular direction as you can. So you don't want your biological energy system to be trying to drink one tea and the other, and especially with such teas as detox. Literally, all these teas, they're medicinal, and so you want to use them not sparingly, but some teas I will go 2 or 3 days with. Some teas like the detox 1 day or maybe 2, and then maybe once a week you want to have the sad tea day, which is the no tea day, or I will typically on that day just stick with green tea. So on no tea day I have some green tea, but I make sure the medical teas stay on the shelf. So look into that. I mean, if you want to know more, use some chat GPT or whatever AI you like. I typically have been utilizing chat GPT for research on teas and everything else. It makes the research so much quicker. And so, yes, you don't want to drink a tea, regardless of how good it is, every day. You want to space yourself. There are a couple tea ingredients here that you technically need a break from every couple of days. Got to know your teas. So check with them Coop Kids, because I am just a guy. A little crazy. Might make the wrong tea for you. If you don't know what you need, you really should not be so lazy. So, let's clean this up some more and get back to shaking. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, 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 shake. Oh, we're not even halfway there, but hey, this is going to do. This is the way to shake it right there. That's going to work really well. Now, there we go. 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 Tea, 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 tea. Time for tea. It's tea time. Time for your tea. Medical grade tea. Get the little sticker. Put it on the tea. Put your little list name there. And you always want to shake your tea a little more. Sometimes before I make a cup of tea, I make sure to shake it. And when I make the tea, I will usually use the spoon to examine and actually target the more ingredients I want in that particular cup. So as you can see, I'm all mixed up now. And so I think we should just about finish here. Tappa tappa, you put your name on the tea. Take a look. It smells really good, a little leafy, a little grassy, and some flowers. Okay. And so, now, what do you do with all this tea? The tea will last you for a plenty long time. I'm almost done with one of my first teas, and then I'll go back, get the ingredients, make the tea again. Now, you get yourself a little pot. This tea, I got 20 bucks at the TJ Maxx. The idea of this is, you put your tea in there, has the little holes that the tea, flows through. And this particular brand of pot had these little tea flowers that you throw in the bottom. It's a little ball and it unfolds into a beautiful flower. A very unique tea experience. I typically only use the pot now for pouring the teas into to cool or stand or whatnot. I typically use a French press. You know, put your teas in here, however much you want. You know, these are typically, this is supposed to be 9 cups, so you would put 9 scoops. But, you know, you might want to go a little heavier, sometimes a little lighter, all depending on you. Here we have the tablespoon, which is the recommended usage serving. I get the heaping tablespoon. Try to make sure there's some berries on it, some green, everything in there. And we just throw it into the tea press. Typically, I don't hold the tea press. Typically, I hold the tea angled so that we can say 4 and 5 and get those roses 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 cups worth. And then you have your tea. You know how to boil water. I know some of y'all probably burn water, but you boil your water. I have a kettle right back here. I turn it on, big kettle. Fill this thing up with the hot water. You might want to focus on the temperature a little bit when the rolling boil is happening in the kettle. Typically, depending on you, you might want to let it settle the boil, which is cooling it to a more temperature that might be more of your flavor mask. Yet I go full boil because that is the way to extract the most out of the tea. Makes it a little bitter, but the bitter is actually very beneficial to you. So you fill it up, you leave it sit, typically about 15 minutes. This is herbal tea. For a green tea, just regular green tea, that's 3 to 5 minutes maximum, or else you'll get some more flavors you might not want. But herbal teas, 15-ish minutes. Yeah, let it press it down. And you see what happens there? It pushes all that milk down, and then I typically will get this, pouring it into here, nice and clean. We have plenty of tea to go around. So I hope this has upped your tea game. You have been tearing away at experiencing some loose leaf tea, and especially medical grade herbal teas. It's been a life changer for me. Might just change your entire reality. Your reality, get it? Reality? Just me? Okay, let's move on.
This meditation is designed to align your essential energy centers, your 7 chakras, restoring balance in your physical and emotional body, and connecting you with a deeper sense of peace and inner strength. You will connect with a quiet place deep within you. It is here in this quiet place that transformation and healing can take place. rejuvenating your mind, body, and spirit, grounding and relaxing you. We will begin by grounding and connecting ourselves with the earth. Begin by making yourself comfortable, either lying down or comfortably seated with both your hands and legs uncrossed, so as to allow the energy to flow freely through your body and your spine. See yourself standing on the earth barefoot. You may be standing on grass, sand, or even in a shallow stream. As your feet connect with the earth, feel the energy underneath your feet. It may be hot or cool or lukewarm. You may want to move or stretch your toes to feel the texture of the earth underneath your feet. Now imagine from your feet running into the earth are roots, like on a large oak tree, reaching far into the core of Mother Earth, stabilizing you and grounding you. Take a few deep breaths as you continue to connect with Mother Earth. As you go through the meditation, you may release any negative energy through your feet, through the roots, down to Mother Earth's core. She will recycle the energy for you. Most importantly, this will be done through your breath. This color chakra breathing is cleansing and revitalizing. You will be breathing in fresh, pure colored light energy. And releasing any blocked or negative energy as you breathe out. Remember to breathe. Let's take a moment to give thanks. You may follow out loud or repeat silently. I give thanks and acknowledge myself for having the strength and courage to work towards my own transformation. I have patience with myself and the time it takes to manifest changes in my life. I am able to simply be in this experience and allow the healing to take place effortlessly without any resistance. I get out of my own way. I trust the process. With continued practice, I see the results of my transformation, growth, and healing. I experience my inner strength increasing in every way each day. I embrace this journey with my heart and mind open. I give thanks to my higher self for guiding me to this place. Remember to breathe. All of your breathing should be steady, rhythmical, and comfortable. Place your hands on your stomach, palms down with your fingertips touching each other. Make sure to make any adjustments you need in order to achieve your own flowing wave-like rhythm. All breathing is done by taking the breath in through the nose and letting the breath out through a slightly opened mouth. You'll begin by inhaling the breath slowly and deeply in all the way down to the stomach. Feel your fingertips separate as you bring the breath down to your stomach and expand your abdomen. Hold this breath for a count of 3. Then exhale very slowly and completely. As you release the breath, contract your abdomen. Make sure the rest of your body remains fully relaxed. Remember, as you go through the meditation, you may release any negative energy through your feet, through the roots, down to Mother Earth's core. She will recycle the energy for you. We are now ready to begin our color light chakra breathing. As we go through each chakra, you will be given a color light and fragrance to visualize and imagine as you take each deep breath in. Breathe the color light and fragrance in as deeply as you can through your whole body. Feel it enveloping and energizing your body, saturating every pore in your body with each healing color light and its corresponding healing fragrance. As you breathe outwards, you may see this breath changing color as you release any blocked energies, thoughts, or toxins from your body. This is perfectly normal. On the out breath, if you see the color changing, visualize any congested energy leaving your body through your feet, through your roots, down to Mother Earth. Stay with it until the color is pure and becomes either the chakra color again, or you may see it turn to white light as these energies are cleansed, cleared, and released out of your body. Let us begin the color light chakra meditation. Imagine you are breathing in the color light energy of a beautiful ruby red sunrise. The energy is warming and strengthening. Visualize it coming in with each breath as it moves through your whole being. swirling and gathering at the base of the spine at your root chakra. As you breathe in, imagine the smell of freshly potted soil, sweet and earthy. Envelope yourself with the ruby red color as you continue to breathe in. Release anything you don't need any longer on your out breath. Take your time. As things come up, let them drift through. Then let them go. Remember to breathe. Breathe in the ruby red light. Feel it flowing through every pore in your whole body and concentrating at the base of your spine at your root chakra. Remember to breathe. I am grounded and have the willpower and strength to experience all that comes to me on my path. I am able to manifest all that I wish to manifest, and have the energy required to do so. Courage is within me and is awakened now. Imagine you are breathing in the color light energy of a revitalizing wash of fresh orange light. As it bathes you with a warm envelope of self-confidence and courage. With each breath in, visualize a vortex of orange color light flowing through your whole body, swirling and gathering at the midpoint between your navel and sexual organs, at your sacral chakra. Breathe in the fresh orange light, releasing any blockages and anxieties, giving you a sense of freedom and divine wisdom that supports you in everything you do. Smell the sweet fragrance of freshly peeled mandarins or white gardenias. And allow the orange light to envelope your whole body. Remember to breathe. I assimilate and digest all that comes to me, using both the positive and the negative equally to nourish and nurture me.